let's start off with Wicked because it's on our minds. Donald and I both loved it very much.
Joelle, did you love it very much?
I did. Zach texted me and he was like, so when are you seeing Wicked? And I said, I have tickets for the sing-along on Christmas. And he said, that's too far away. And so then I called my dad and I was like, how did you like Gladiator? He's like, I took your mom to see Wicked instead. And I was like, how did you like it? He's like, Joelle, I loved it. And my dad doesn't get, he's a really medium guy. So he says, loved it. I was like, let me strap it. So I bought some tickets and woo, it was so good. Way exceeded my expectations.
It is literally the Citizen Kane of musical adaptations. It is the Citizen Kane.
I'm going to agree with you.
I think the closest, I mean, there's several movies that have come before that are real. Sound of Music, Grease,
Chicago.
The Wiz, The Wizard of Oz. Chicago, I mean, I'm not sold on that one as much as I'm sold on the ones I said before. We don't need to. But listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. Wicked is, La La Land's still my favorite musical.
Yeah, but that's not an adaptation. You specified
that's not an adaptation.
Yeah.
As far as adaptation goes, this is damn near perfect. I'm trying to find flaws.
I had a couple notes. I'd
love to hear them.
Well, before I get to my couple notes, I will also say I loved it. I thought John Chu did a fantastic job.
Fabulous.
Myron Kirstein, who edited the movie, has cut 3 of my 4 movies, so I'm very proud and happy for him. I thought it was brilliantly edited. Everything, every department, every craftsperson who worked on those sets, enormous sets, and the choreography and the costumes and I mean, it was just epic. I was saying to my nephew who loves Marvel movies, I'm like, I don't get to see money spent like this for my interests. And this I felt like was like getting to see $200 million or whatever it was spent on something that I would enjoy. And it was so fun to watch all of that unfold.
But it's of the level of Marvel movies, though. That's the thing that's so great about it. It's like if you are a Marvel fan, or if you are a fan of fantasy and wizards and dragons or whatever it is, this movie also is for you, believe it or not. This is one of those things where it's just undeniable. I love the story that John Chu tells, where George Lucas called him up right after leaving the movie theater. And he's like, listen, I don't know if you know this, I'm a filmmaker myself. And John's like, okay.
I didn't see this video. That's funny.
Okay.
You got to send that to me.
And he's like, you get it. You did it right. You understood. You understood the assignment and you went out there and you executed it. I'm really excited to see part 2. Spoiler alerts. It's 2
amazing
parts.
we got to wait a year. That's crazy. But
this is the longest intermission ever.
And it's done, by the way. It's done.
Yeah.
Wait, it's locked already?
Well, I don't know that to be a fact, but
spring.
I don't know that to be a fact, but I don't think, and I could be wrong, that they were always planning on breaking it into 2 movies. I could be totally wrong, but that made me think that I suppose when they decided to make it 2 movies, they were like, all right, put that to the side. Let's just work on this. We have a year, and then obviously let's not bury the lead. I thought that both the whole cast, but the 2 ladies were just absolutely perfect.
Erivo and Grande.
Yeah.
Ariana, yes.
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. I mean, I'm going to say I think Ariana Grande deserves an Oscar. That's just me personally.
She's definitely going to get nominated.
I think she stole the movie. I think it was meant for her to steal the first act.
Oh, Joelle didn't look at Joelle's reaction to that. Joelle did a head twist.
I think the second act is all Erivo, if I remember correctly. But Ariana's first, they don't unleash Cynthia until the dance, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. At that
Are
point.
you
Dancing
insane? She sings the Wizard and I, and my whole audience broke out into it. It was our first applause break of 4, I think. The Wizard and I, which is Cynthia's first song, where she goes, "Oh my God, breathtaking on the plane," and giving you all of the Sound of Music kind of feels.
Sure, but it's early on in the movie, and at that point, you're looking for. I'm just saying it. In the earlier parts of the movie, you're looking for the comedy, the pace, and all of that stuff to be introduced. By the time they get to the ballroom, and she walks in with the hat. that's when it becomes a Rebos movie from that point on.
I think you're just, well, who knows? But I think you're reacting to the fact that Ariana has almost every laugh in the movie, except for Bowen Yang, who was very funny.
Bowen is amazing.
So funny.
Yeah. So, but Ariana's comic timing, of course, her voice.
She crushed.
Her voice is ridiculous, but also her comic timing was incredible. I mean, and in the popular number, all the little things she's doing.
When she's swishing around on the floor, I was dying. And to Donald's point about being Marvel, I was just going to say really quick, like the flight sequence, breathtaking. And we've seen a lot of flight in a lot of films. And I thought to be able to bring a level of originality and still like an awe-inspiring element this late in the flight on film game is really impressive.
I agree. I first of all, the sets were clearly practical. I mean, they
all
were
of
real.
It.
Yeah. So the sets just looked so, I mean, the amount of money they spent on those sets, it's hard to imagine. And then, then the CGI stuff didn't look bad at all. It all looked great, I thought. Do you know like that tulip field is real? They planted
like millions of bulbs. That's crazy.
Poppies.
Yes.
The poppies. Yeah.
Amazing.
John Chu. I mean, it's all him, man. I mean, it's obviously everyone, all those thousands of people that worked on the movie. But I mean, he led quite a team to that scale of that movie is enormous.
Not only the scale, the pressure to deliver.
Yeah.
For all of these people, for Ariana, for Cynthia, the pressure to deliver was definitely on them. And they did it. And it was like they were able to, I don't know how, but you see the interviews and they're crying and you're like, I understand. I feel you.
Speaking of which, Joelle, can you explain to me what this holding space thing is? Because I need you, my favorite queer person, to break it down because I don't know what is happening. What is happening in that interview?
So one, I would just say that the original interview, I think it's a misappropriation of the words. I don't. To hold space for something is not to consider the lyrics or find inspiration with it. It's really usually sitting oftentimes with something uncomfortable and making room and space for it when they're usually, as a society, we would not. So I don't think it's an accurate use of the term. However, I do think a lot of queer people love Elphaba and identify with her. We saw Ariana and Cynthia on the press tour said, Elphaba's probably a little gay. She's probably a little queer maybe. And so I think what they were talking about was like in this Defying Gravity, which if you don't know the musical, sort of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, like power anthem. And it's this moment when she turns her back on what society expects her to do and really embraces herself. And a lot of queer people can identify with that. And I think that's what she was trying to suggest.
Right. So what she was trying to say was like a lot of queer people identify with the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
Yeah.
It was a funny meme, though.
It was hilarious.
I didn't understand it. I was like,
quite
holding
a lot.
space.
I've been using holding space inappropriately all over the place.
Can I just say one last thing about this, and then we can move on?
Yes.
I love the fact that they made Defying Gravity not this vindictive, like in the play at the end, when it gets to the act break, she's wicked because she's so pissed off at everything. Oh, fuck everybody. I'm going to fucking get out of here. Fuck you. You don't like me. I don't like you either. I'm wicked. And in this, they made it seem like there was hope at the end. This woman's going to save Oz. She's going to be the one that freaking brings everything back to the way it needs to be. And I really want to commend the director in doing that because it's so easy to go the way of she's going dark. She's going dark side. She just went to the dark side. She doesn't go to the dark side in this. In this, she does become the martyr. She does become the hero. You know what I mean? And so I was, that blew me away.
Yeah, the ending was, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, but I cried multiple times and I was with Amanda and Elvis. So I was in a safe space to cry in the movies. I love crying in the movies anyway.
Me too.
But without spoilers, obviously that dance moment at the when they dance together, I just thought that was so incredibly moving about just finally someone having the courage to be by your side. That was just, and then at the end, I just sobbed. I was like, not only was I crying for the movie, but I was thinking about my father who's no longer alive, and he loved musicals. And I just thought, I was crying. They were happy tears but I was thinking like, oh gosh, my father would have loved this so much. And and Amanda knew my dad, so it was nice to just have that moment of like, wow, this art moved me so much, and I'm so happy for all of these people. And also, I don't know if I've told this story, but we had a little memorial in my vegetable garden on my property for Nick when he died, and Nick loved Cynthia Erivo. I don't know if they ever met or if maybe they were DM friends from Broadway or what have you. I don't know that they had much relationship, but he loved her. And when Nick was sick, Cynthia Erivo reached out to Amanda and said, like, I'm here for you if you ever need anything. And when Nick was in a coma, Amanda would text Cynthia, and she would say, he's not in a great space. If you have a moment, would you sing for him? And Cynthia, without fail, would say absolutely, and she'd FaceTime her, and she would sing multiple songs, including Amazing Grace, to Nick while he was in a coma.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I just heard this recently from Amanda. And then when Nick passed, Amanda reached out to her and said, hey, one of Nick's favorite moments in all of Broadway was your big number in A Color Purple on Broadway. Would you consider singing it? And I don't know if Cynthia thought like this was a big like memorial, like in a church or something, but she said absolutely. And there was like 15 of us in my garden, and she came and sang Nick's favorite song.
Oh, wow.
So that's a
Shout
Cynthia Erivo story.
God, yeah, that's
no
lovely.
Doubt.
That's the kind of person she is.
Yeah, I met her one time also. We did Anthony Anderson's show, To Tell the Truth. And we had a little bit of downtime to just sit and shoot the shit. And I just remember her turning to me, Donald, what are your dreams? What are your dreams? And I was like, what? And she was like, what are your dreams? Tell me, what is it that you dream of? I was like, well, I want to be in Star Wars. I want to, and I just unleashed. And I was like, what about you? What are your dreams? She said, they're starting to come true.
Yeah,
things are starting to happen.
Aww.
It's amazing.
And it was, yeah.
I'm so happy for everybody involved. And the National Water Review chose it as their best picture already. So it'll definitely be in the competition.
It deserves it. It's
Agreed.
If you are a fan of action adventure, if you love romance, if you love sci-fi,
cinema?
if you love fantasy, if you're a fan of cinema, period.
I want to go see it again, actually.
Oh,
I've seen it twice already. That's the crazy thing.
Donald.
It's not me. It was my kids. We saw it the first time when we got back from Vegas. We saw it. And then the second time was 2 days later. My son goes, you know what? Let's go see Wicked again. And I was like, what?
I'm surprised it was your son and not your daughter.
Well, Rock likes certain things. You know what I mean? His whole thing is, and this is going to sound horrible, and I'm not raising him to be this way, but he said to me, dang, Ariana got a gat. I was like, what?
It's his father's son. He said, ladies,
I certainly didn't.
up?
I didn't notice Ariana having a gat.
Are you kidding me? When she's swinging on that thing, that gat is nice. And when she's walking around in them dresses, that gat is nice. That's what my son would say.
Your son wanted to go see the gat.
Well, I think things are starting to change on him. He's starting to have that little odor.
He's starting to feel the feelings?
He's starting to have the little odor under the arms and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, since we're on movies and deodorant, I'm late to the party, but I watched Inside Out 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Have you seen that?
I love Inside Out too.
Oh, gosh, that was beautiful too.
Yeah. Which did you like better, 1 or 2?
I think I don't know. I think 2, but I thought it was so moving, and I was just so blown away by the screenplay. I'm sitting there going, whoever wrote this is so fucking genius. Like, what a screenplay.
My favorite thing about that movie is they brought in teenage girls to tell them if they were getting the script right. Like multiple times they would come in, the girls would be like, we wouldn't talk this way, or we would never leave a friend in that way. And I was like, you can really feel the presence of young-minded people throughout the script. And yeah, it's surprising. All the ways you sort of think they're going to lean into bullying, they don't. And it's really this kid against her poor self. And it's a beautiful story. I like it a lot.
I thought the screenplay was excellent. I mean, it was so smart.
I really did like that movie also.
Honora, have we talked about Honora?
No, but everybody, that girl's all the rave.
Joelle, have you seen Honora?
I haven't seen Honora yet. It's on the list.
Joelle.
I know, I got to get there. Joelle,
don't you get screeners?
I'm so sorry. I get some screeners, not all. They, the Disneys, the Marvels, the sci-fis really hit me up. I got to fight for the smaller indies.
I highly recommend Honora to everybody. It's I think one of the best movies I've seen this year. And what's so exciting about it is it's nobody in the cast is famous. It's just an incredible screenplay with incredible actors. Really well done. That young lady could win an Oscar. I mean,
that's what they're saying. They're saying she's.
What's her name? Joelle? Mikey Madsen.
Mikey Madsen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was on Better Things, the TV show, as a teenage girl. Now she's in this movie, and I assumed from her performance that she was like an East Coast, like really talk like this character that she plays. And then I saw an interview with her, and she's nothing like that. And
not at all. Yeah.
So it just means that it was like double whammy of how talented she is. She gives one of the best performances of the year for sure.
I haven't seen it, but I will see it. There's a
lot of good movies this year. I gotta say.
Well, there's actually. Star Wars actually has a good show again, guys. They've got a hit.
Why can't we just avoid Star Wars?
Because it's called Skeleton Crew.
It's so good.
It's called Skeleton Crew, and it's fucking really good, dude.
It's got
the first two episodes. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Star Wars fan either. I'm saying this because this shit is actually really good. Like,
it's hitting.
This reminds me of my youth. The movies I watched as a kid, Goonies, Flight of the Navigator, Explorers. Like, this movie hits all Poltergeist. Everything that Stranger Things tries to do, this one does it in a Star Wars universe, which is kind of unheard of. Like, people want their Star Wars a certain way, but this dude found, I'm forgetting the creator of the show's name. I know it's Filoni and Favreau, but the guy who is the showrunner for the show. What an amazing... He did Spider-Man. He did John something, right?
John Watts and Christopher Ford.
Yeah. Amazing. Well done. Like, way to bring it... And what's great is that Star Wars fans are now happy.
And that's looking united out there. It's pretty beautiful.
It hasn't... the last time that this has happened is... I don't even think Return of the Jedi had. You know what I mean? There are people that are like, fuck Ewoks!
No, everyone loved, what do you call it? Andor.
Are you kidding me?
Andor is not universally beloved.
Andor is hated by a lot of Star Wars.
It is the least watched Star Wars show. It was saved because it was critically acclaimed, and Disney was like, "Yeah, we love a statue. Like, do another season."
Oh, I'm of this. I guess because I'm not in the core audience, I loved Andor. I thought it was the best.
As you should. It is, to me, it's the best one, but it's not universally beloved. I will say about Skeleton Crew, I've seen the first 3 episodes. They're fabulous. I'm excited for episode 4 because the Daniels are directing it, which should be really interesting. And then Bryce Dallas has the Christmas episode, which I bet will be spectacular. And yeah, it's really fun. Usually I'm not into the whole kid show, but I really feel like there's an element of this that makes me feel like I'm 10 years old. It makes me want to share it with my cousins. Like, it's very easy to fall in love with these kids, and they feel like they're in real danger, which doesn't usually happen in a Disney property. But I'm like, these kids should not be on the ship or on the planet they're going to. How do they get home? It's so scary. And the best part is they built in a real mystery where you're like, what the hell is happening here? Like, where did they come from? What is this planet? And usually the last couple of mysteries we've been set up on in Star Wars have been flops. So it's nice to see them really nail that.
I went into it thinking I wasn't expecting a lot. And by the end of the first episode, I was like, next, please. Next episode now. And I watched the second episode. And as soon as that shit ended, I was like, damn, I can't wait till Monday.
Is Rocco liking it?
He hasn't watched it yet. I have to say, they haven't watched it yet.
Okay, all right.
I can't wait to show them, though.
Donald, I want to welcome to the podcast for the first time my foster puppy, Penny.
Hello, Penny.
Oh, Penny's trying to take a nap. Penny said, please don't disturb me.
Isn't she cute?
She's the cutest.
I'm in love with her.
Yeah, you are.
They already called me today saying someone wants to adopt her. I'm like, whoa. Everybody calm down.
All right, this is... Penny likes it here.
I am fostering. Oh, look at her. I am fostering. She was living in the worst conditions in this shelter. She spent 2 months in this like cement cell with no bed, not even a blanket. Whoa, she is wiped out.
Fell off the couch.
She just like dreamed off the couch.
She just fell off the couch.
You all right, baby? Anyway, she's fun. She's really sweet. She's a sweet girl.
Love it. I love it. I love that you found one too.
Well, we are. I wasn't planning on being asked if I wanted to keep her this quickly, but the woman who I'm fostering for was like, "We have a lot of interest from Penny," and I was like, "Whoa! Everybody, calm down."
Well, you made the mistake of showing your dog on your Instagram. That was the mistake.
Well, I want to help her. I wanted to help her get adopted to an amazing home. In the intervening days, we have become quite close, Penny and I.
I love it. I love it.
She's a big 80-pound pit, and but she's a sweetheart, and it looks like she's got very, it looks like she was used to breed because she's got big teats. Okay. She's got, but I don't know. Someone wrote. That poor thing was used to make babies, and I'm so happy you're babying her, and that really hit my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we have so many topics. Which one do you want to go next to, Donald? I got. We should talk about. Here's what I wrote down, and you tell me which one you want to do next.
Okay.
Vegas.
Well, that's what this podcast is about today, right? Our Vegas experience.
Well, it could be about anything. Do you want to go to Vegas? Do you want to go to merch? Do you want to go to you giving up weed? Do you want to go to Scrubs?
Let's go to me giving up weed. Let's go to me giving up weed.
All right. So, audience, you might think, oh, God, roll your eyes. Donald's talking about giving up weed. But when we went to Vegas, he decided to use that as a launching point, right?
Quit cold turkey.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
which is very hard for those of you who don't know, for someone who smokes every day, all day. Tell everyone how it went. Or how it's going, because you're now 2 weeks.
It's miserable. But
I thought you were doing better.
No, I am doing better now. But now the craving is back. You know what I mean? Like I was having a conversation with my brother on FaceTime, and he's sitting there blowing weed into the camera and shit like that.
That's not nice.
And it was like he wasn't doing it on purpose. He doesn't know that I've quit. You know what I mean? And he's blowing it into the camera, and as he's doing it, I'm trying to catch the vapors on the other side of the motherfucker.
Through the phone.
What I mean? Yeah, through FaceTime. It's very difficult, and I'm not going to sit here and bullshit anybody and say, and I don't want to be the guy that says you need to quit too. I don't want to be a preacher.
Yeah, you're not trying to preach, but talk about your experience.
I had night sweats for about a week and a half. Every time I tried to fall asleep, I lost 20 pounds in almost 2 weeks, because I couldn't eat.
Yeah, for real. I saw him at dinner. We went to dinner, and his face, you probably can't see it because it's all pixelated right now, but he lost so much weight in just his face.
Yeah, and it's water weight, obviously, from the sweating and the not eating and stuff like that.
You should get into fucking sauning, dude. Get rid of more of it.
I'm into losing weight the healthy way right now, but as far as quitting goes, it's been very difficult, but I ain't going back, man.
Have you been irritable to your wife?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Casey said at dinner, she goes, next time you do this, you need to go away for a while.
Yeah, the prospector has spoken.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of your irritability. Irritability.
But it's the crazy thing is that the phlegm is just starting to clear up in my lungs and stuff like that, and I'm not and I don't feel like I have bronchitis anymore. And I was smoking a lot of weed, and this was definitely a good idea for me. I'm not saying everybody else needs to do it.
Right.
But I'm not going to smoke weed again. I think.
Well, by the way, what's funny is last night he's like, we should get dinner again on Monday. And I'm all I'm thinking is like, the dude is off weed for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden he's making plans. I
don't want to stay home anymore.
I was like, swiping tears from my eyes.
I don't want to stay home anymore. This house reminds me of marijuana.
No, I mean,
when it's empty.
You definitely lived up to one of the sweeping stereotypes of a full-time stoner is not wanting to leave the house. And I know that's not true for all of you out there who do that, but this particular stoner, Donald Faison, was a homebody, and I like the idea that you might leave your house more.
Well, I go to the gym now almost every day.
My trainer was asking about you, by the way.
Why?
He just likes you, and he was like, "How's Donald doing? How's the weed? Is he working out at all?" And I was like, "He actually just quit." And he was like, "Oh, good. What's he doing? Is he boxing? Is he working out?" And I didn't know what the answer was.
I am working out. I am boxing. I'm back into the MMA again. You know what I mean?
Good. Yeah, you like that form of exercise.
I do. I like lifting weights too, but I like striking a lot. I like kicking. I like wrestling.
You should get fit, bro. You should get fucking fit.
Well, we have a reason to nowadays too. You know what I mean? Like we have a super duper. It looks like we're gonna have another shot at this thing called Scrubs. You know what I mean?
Do you want to go into Scrubs reboot?
I mean, I think that's a good segue.
Is that your segue into Scrubs reboot from what I've written down as giving up weed?
Yeah, I think that's a good segue. I gave up weed to do Scrubs.
Well, this is a funny time to talk about this, audience, because I'm not sure when this airs. We'll decide. But today it broke on both Deadline and Variety that they're in.
Bill's deal is done.
Bill has closed the deal to do a Scrubs reboot.
Hell yes. Did
you know that, Joelle?
I didn't get the notification. That's amazing.
Joelle, Daniel's not here to tell you to talk into your microphone.
I'm sorry. That's amazing. I'm so excited. I'm very excited for you guys.
This has been in the works for a long time, and obviously this doesn't mean it's 100%. It's in development, but this is the first time they've made any sort of announcement about it. So it's sort of exciting. The idea that we could do some new incarnation of the show that we're all, here for.
I'm really excited to see what it is because literally Zach, myself, and the rest of the cast have zero idea what Bill has planned.
I don't think Bill knows what he has planned.
Okay. Well,
no, I mean, I don't think he does. I think it's like, okay, let's figure out. I think we can say that it's not going to be like they're doing with The Office, like a whole new cast. The idea is to get us all back together, and figure out what that story is, which is really exciting. But I don't think it's been cracked yet. What the angle is.
I'm excited to find out what it is. I'm excited to find out what our characters are up to and what they will be or what version of the characters will be playing this time around. There's a lot that's changed since Scrubs was on television 20-something years ago.
We can't be as goofy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Well, because now we're in our late 40s. We can't be like young 20-somethings.
I'm 50, bro.
I'm 50 years old.
I can kick. I can stretch. But like, what is it? What, like Ted Lasso, Shrinking,
Bad
Monkey. These guys all have a different, Bill Lawrence stamp to it, and his new stamp is really interesting, and it's adult, but yet it still has very comedic and heartfelt undertones. So it's
Well, I think it'll still be Scrubs, but it'll be with the things that everyone loves about Scrubs. But we're certainly so much older now, so it's like, how are our lives different, and how are we different? I think about ourselves in real life, you and I, and there's so many ways where we're as silly as we were when we were in the year 2000, 24 years ago. And then there's other ways where we're a lot more mature. And I think the characters I imagine would reflect that too.
I hope so. Like, I want to go to Vegas again with Bill so he can just study us. Let's go to Vegas.
Wow, you're just really showing off your transitions today. Is this your hot fucking segue? I'm holding space for this segue into Vegas.
You know, my brain is a little bit clearer now.
I can
I'm
see.
gonna be honest.
I can see that. Joelle, do you notice this motherfucker is 2 weeks off weed and now he's fucking like elegantly threading transitions?
I don't want to support someone stopping weed because how, but also I'm just so proud of you. This is amazing.
I've never seen you do that before, Donald. That was elegant.
But I think we need to do that again. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The last 2 times you and I have been in Vegas have been pretty epic.
Amazing.
More epic than it's ever been, other than Where Them Tigers At. Right. Other than Where Them Tigers At. This is...
Where Them Tigers At? You have to give people context. That's when we were very young and we went, and Donald was wasted, and he's walking through the
MGM Grand.
And it's when they still had the Tiger show, and he's like, "Where them Tigers at? I want to see somebody get bit."
And then it happened.
I'm glad you explained it because I thought he was referencing The Hangover, and I was like. What?
No, Donald. Picture Donald strutting like George Jefferson through the MGM, being like, "Where them tigers at? I want to see somebody get bit."
Oh no, Donald!
But then it happened.
Yeah,
That's
how long ago it was. The tigers aren't. I don't know if are the tigers still there.
I know
there's there's no show. Obviously, there's no show, but I don't know if they still have like an exhibit.
I don't know.
Can you look that up? I'm curious.
It was because of Tracy Morgan's Brian Fellows.
Oh, that's what it was. You were doing Brian Fellows.
Where them tigers at?
Where them tigers at?
For all that money, somebody better get bit.
That's what he said. You go. All I know is for all that money, somebody better get bit.
Bit or something. I'm Brian Fellows.
Brian Fellows. I loved Brian Fellows. I don't know why it was so funny, but it was.
Because he would be mad.
It made no sense.
He would get sassy with he got sassy with a parrot. The parrot went, "I'm Brian Fellows." "No, you not."
I just can
I'm Brian Fellows.
I could just watch Tracy Morgan do anything and I start to giggle.
Yeah, he's a very funny man.
Joelle, are there tigers still at MGM?
No, so there used to be lions in the habitats, but PETA was like, no.
Oh, yeah.
And so now the habitats are still there, but the lions are no longer.
What's in the habitat? You just walk by?
The habitat itself. Lions used to be here, I guess.
Oh, so people walk by and go, look, an empty habitat.
Pretty much.
Well, Donald and I, we have to give a shout out to T-Mobile because they brought us out to the F-1 race for the second year in a row, and it was so much fun.
It was epic. Listen, the first time we went, we had fun. We hadn't yet experienced success in Vegas yet. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, we've gone to Vegas before several times,
right?
And have yet to win money.
Oh, yeah.
Yet to, like.
But we only really won money the Bill Lawrence time when he was rolling for a half hour on craps.
Yes, but every time before that, we had not experienced success.
We only played blackjack.
Vegas was kind of depressing to us because every time we went, the only time we would see money was when the ATM spit it out for us. You know what I mean?
Also, and we just got crushed at blackjack always. And then we started to discover craps this last couple times.
Thanks to Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew Watt. Yeah. And then Bill rolling for a half hour really got me educated into the ins and outs of craps.
Yes. And so we went back this time
because
T-Mobile was like, "You guys want to come? Come on!"
Yeah, we came. It was so fun.
And not only was it fun, it was really cool. Like Snoop was there.
Yeah,
we got to. This is the first time where we're going there as vets of the T-Mobile family. You know what I mean? Where we're a staple in their family, and it was really cool.
And this is for the F1 race that happens in Vegas every year.
Yes, T-Mobile is the sponsor of the F1 race in Vegas. And for those of you who don't know, they shut down the streets of Vegas, and the F1 race is through the streets of Vegas at night.
So freaking
it's insane.
Cool.
If you can imagine the amount of logistics involved. And they do such a cool job. And then they have these suites over, where all the pit stops are for the cars. And so we're hanging out in the suite with all these amazing people, all the T-Mobile execs.
Well, all of the execs that we know, And then also just like the people that were coming in, from Snoop to Mr. Beast to
Bradley Cooper,
Ryan Tedder.
Yeah. Well, tell them the story about what Mr. Beast did for your kids. That was so sweet.
He was like, yo, I was like, because I'm very new to Mr. Beast. Like within the last 2 months, I just, learned about him. And my kids have known about him for a while. I remember my son was like, well, Mr. Beast says, I said, boy, I don't give a shit about Mr. Beast. And my son looked at me and he said, well, you should, because he's so much richer than you are, Dad. I was like, what?
Kids are mean.
They are. They don't, no censor. But then I meet him and, I'm just going to give him props because I'm like that with everybody. If you ask Zach, when I meet celebrities, I get a little, he has to calm me down sometimes. Like, yo, dude, don't get too fucking crazy. You're going to meet such and such. Just don't ask for a selfie.
Don't ask for a selfie with Brad Pitt, please.
I walk into the thing and I see Beast and I'm like, yo, oh shit, dude, you have no idea. My kids freaking love you. I'm a new fan of yours, but they've been a fan of yours for a long time. He's like, oh, really? Let's call him. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, let's FaceTime him. Shut the fuck up.
No, first you made a video.
So then he goes, no, he tries to call. They don't pick up. So he's like, let's make a video. Boom. And he makes the video. Then he says, then I take the phone away and I go and I send the video to my wife. And then now I FaceTime my wife and she picks up. She's like, are you fucking kidding me with this? And I'm like, hold on. And I go back and I turn and I'm like, can you talk to my kids again? He's like, yeah, sure. He grabs the phone. Wilder's like, oh, hello, Mr. Beast. How's it going? All cool and shit. Trying to be, she's more like her mom. Her mom's been around a lot of people in life. She held it together. They show it to Rocco. Rocco goes, Beast! And he's like, oh my God! And he can't move. And he's like frozen in time. Oh, it's Mr. Beast! Right? And he said to all of his friends on the Snapchat, they have a group chat. And he was like, guys, I got to go. Mr. Beast is calling my house right now. And they're all like, bullshit, Rocco. You don't know Mr. Beast. You're full of crap. And so my wife sends him the video that Mr. Beast sent earlier.
He could fucking drop
He
the
drops it into the chat. Mic drop. Mic drop.
He was really nice and really interesting, and his whole squad. He has his whole group that do all his videos with him. They were all such nice people and really like willing to because everyone has questions like, how the hell did you guys do what you did? And they're all so nice about answering questions and explaining it all. And I thought they were really cool.
And he has a connection to a world that a lot of people don't understand yet. And it's really starting to blossom as far as taking over in the entertainment industry. So like, whereas you and I go to the movies and a lot of people go to the movies, most kids watch TikTok or YouTube. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where we watch Scrubs or where we watch, Arrested Development, they've never heard of these shows because they're strictly watching Kai or Beast or Speed on YouTube.
By the way, he said he'd come on the podcast.
He did.
I think he'd be a great guest.
It would be interesting to talk to him about this wave that's hitting.
Well, and also just like his story is incredible. I mean, the fact that he has reached a level of success and he feels like a guy who's so into everything, the algorithms, like how to crack it all. Like he's so knowledgeable. He's like a scientist.
It would be good for us also, just as a podcast and how to promote our podcast in different ways and stuff like that. His
buddy who's in charge of Instagram was telling me all the stuff I didn't know about Instagram. It was so interesting. I mean, they're like data scientists. It's really interesting. But then Joel, go ahead.
I was going to ask you about the race. I was curious about the race itself. Did you guys not watch the race? Or were you guys like,
no, we did. We did watch the race.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
The race is awesome. Keep in mind, you only see it when it comes by you, and it comes by you like, and then you watch it on TV. That's what's so funny about F1 is like, you only get a glimpse of it when they race by you. And because we were above the pit stop areas, we were lucky enough to be able to look down and see when they pull in and change the tires and fuel up and do whatever they do. That was really cool.
In less than 6 seconds. In less than 6 seconds.
Dude, not even that. It's like it's really like, it's like stop, take off. It was incredible. Incredible.
And if you're on a turn, you might see it a little bit longer, but straightaways, they just fly through straightaways like it's nothing.
So it's a weird, fun thing because you're there and you're being social and you're like, at basically a cocktail party if you're in one of these suites. But then you're like, wait, here they come. And then you watch it on TV.
Yeah. And shout out to McLaren. I mean, they were very nice to us. And
you took a tour of the McLaren pit, right?
What?
Yes, me, Bradley
I didn't make
Cooper,
it there. Yeah.
Beast, and we were the 3 that actually made it inside.
No, but then you ran up with your buddy Aaron.
And then I ran into Aaron Taylor Johnson, who I did Kick-Ass 2 with. Yeah, man.
I just bought my tickets to Craven. Very excited.
Listen, man, this brother, I haven't seen him in over 10 years. And it was like, oh, man, there's pictures of us the smile on my face, the smile on his face. We kicked it hardcore back in London and in Toronto when we made that movie. Mm-hmm. And like, we were buds, you know what I mean? I named my daughter after his. I thought I named my daughter after his daughter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Joel, you know that story?
I do. He didn't, it's a hilarious
wild.
Yeah, and it was just great to see him. I hadn't seen him in a long time, and it was really good to see him.
Yeah, it was super fun, and then they just threw a really amazing event. I mean, when you think of the scale of the logistics of doing that, it's crazy to watch it all happen.
T-Mobile
came through. Thank you for inviting us. We had a blast. And then we went back. Now, here's the funny story. We go back to the casino.
Are we going to tell the story? Are we going to tell?
Yeah, you can tell a really cringe story that happened. That's so embarrassing. I am willing to tell this story. That's so cringe.
I think.
But wait, you don't cut to that part yet. Let's start.
I want. All right, let's start.
So we go to the club, Joelle.
Okay, all right. We're all fam.
We decided we were going to go to the club because we're in Vegas, when in Rome, and it's packed. I mean, F1 fucking weekend. At Wynn, this club is called, what's it called? XS?
Yeah.
The letters XS.
Yeah.
So we go there. Our friend Scott Sartiano, who's a famous restaurateur, is like guiding us through the mayhem. We're with a bunch of friends. And we're like trying to hold on, stay connected to each other because it's fucking packed. And he's leading us to a booth. But all of a sudden, we finally get to the booth. It's so packed. Music's blaring. I think it's the Chainsmokers, right, Tom?
Yeah, Chainsmokers.
And then
it's 4 o'clock in the hold on. It's 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, or something like that too. I've already said to Zach, dude, I want to go home.
Yeah, I'm too old for this too by this point. But
I want to
anyway,
go home.
Donald really wanted to go home, but I was just like, come on, when in Rome, let's go for like a half hour to the club since everyone was going. So we go. By the time I get to the table, the booth which was packed, but we were just standing there, I lost Donald. And I'm like, there's no way this dude just French exited like that. That would have been too lame. Like he did a peel off and he's gone. And so the whole group I'm with, we're like, yo, we lost Donald. I'm looking out for him. I can't see him. I'm texting him like, dude, there's no way you just fucking left. And then I'm just like,
I text him back. I go, no, I'm in the booth.
Then I look up Joelle. I'm at this fucking in front of thousands and thousands of people. This dude's in the DJ booth raising his arms.
You love a DJ booth, Donald.
I do. I can't help it.
Come on.
Something special about the DJ booth.
Donald's a regular at the Wynn DJ booth.
So I get to the booth, and I'm the creator of Yellowstone's there. Jeffrey Wright's there, and Michael Fassbender. And
lineup.
Jeffrey's like, you want to do shots, bro? And I'm like, yeah. So we do a couple of shots and shit. And so now I'm lit. And in my mind, I'm like, Zach has to be here. Zach's fucking one of the best directors I know. If I can get him over here, maybe he can make a deal happen with these motherfuckers. And he's directing the new Yellowstone starring Jeffrey Wright and Michael Fassbender. That's where my mind's going, right? I'm like, we gotta make this happen.
That's good.
So now I'm trying to wave this motherfucker down like, dude.
We finally have eye contact. And it's for you Scrubs mega fans. It's a bit like when Turk and Carla get back from their honeymoon, and it's like Turk, JD,
and they're different sides of the
So we finally have eye contact, and he's like trying to gesture how I'm supposed to. By the way, there's so many people. I'm like, how the fuck am I without a guard who knows? How the hell am I going to get up in that DJ booth?
And I'm pointing to the security guy. He's going to take you. You go with him.
So then I make eye contact. This is all gestures. Then I make eye contact with the security guard that like gives me the thumbs up, like, yo, I'll hook you up. Come to me. So I come to this guard, and he weaves me through this maze, and I get up into the DJ booth. And the most incredible thing happens.
I go to Fassbender and to to Jeffrey, and I'm like, yo, guys, meet my buddy Zach. And they all go, oh! Fassbender.
So Jeffrey Wright was so sweet. He did the cheers thing across. And then Fassbender, who I think we can safely say had a few.
Yes.
As
Jumps
one does,
up.
as one does in Vegas.
Yes.
He was not parched.
Yes. No, he was well served.
Yes. He had been, no one had turned him down for service. But he came and he came up to me and he's like, I love you. I love your work. You're incredible. Oh
Nobody
my God.
can do what you do.
Nobody can do what you do. And in my heart, I'm thinking like, oh my God, like this is amazing. What a moment in my life that this guy is one of the best actors in the world. And he's like, I love you. And I'm like, thank you, brother. That means so much to me. And he goes, I love chips.
Uh-oh. Who does he think you are?
Dak Shepard.
No!
He loves chips.
Damn you, Dak Shepard!
He loves chips, Joel, more than you love any movie in the world. That's how much this dude loves chips.
More than you love Wicked. More than we talked about
More than you love
Wicked.
Star Wars, this dude loves
more
chips.
Than I love Star Wars. He's like, listen, nobody can do what you do. You are so good at what you do. And I'm like, Mike. So now I'm trying to be like.
So my heart just sinks because I pictured a future where we're making movies together, where we're like, and I thought he was talking about my work as a filmmaker, and I was just like having like the best moment, and he was talking about chips.
And so I go, Mike, no,
Mike, no, Mike, no,
no, no, Mike, no.
It was so embarrassing.
This is Zach Braff, not Dak Shepard. And so he puts his head down and begins to walk away.
No. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do.
And I grab him
and
I go, don't you fucking walk away, Michael. You turn around and you face us. You face this situation, buddy. You face this situation with class and grace before you leave.
But Donald, it was so cringe. Like no one knew what to say because where do you go from there?
So he grabs us in a big embrace. He grabs us tight. And he's like, it's real hard to do what we do, isn't it? And
he was trying to pivot the conversation.
But now he's embarrassed and he won't let us go. And I go to grab his arm like, motherfucker, get off of me. And I can't because he's so fucking jacked. It's ridiculous. Like he's like got this bear hug on us. And me and Zach are looking at each other like, how the fuck do we get away from Michael Fassbender?
Yeah. No! Then we had to escape the Fassbender grip.
Oh my God.
And the vice grip that is Magneto.
Man. I bet it was so cozy in there. Oh man.
Then I text Dak Shepard. I go, it is important for you to know how much Michael Fassbender loves chips. I need to convey this to you. And then I go, I unfortunately found out the hard way. But you need to know this man is your number one fan.
Oh, God. Did you guys decide to go home after that? Was that when you
No. that set it off.
Listen,
that was like, this is the best night ever now.
Listen, Donald loves the DJ booth. He finds a whole new wind once he's in the DJ booth.
So the next night that was qualifying night. This is how epic this trip is.
This was not even race night?
This is qualifying.
I've rushed you through the story.
I'm
so
sure,
sorry.
Donald?
This was qualifying night because the next night we went to the after party at the other club. Flavor Flav.
Yeah. That was at Delilah. Yeah.
Adam Devine. It was.
And also we should mention we were hanging out with Keegan Michael Key that night too.
Keegan Michael Key.
Okay.
He's such a nice guy, that dude.
Him and his wife, wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be one of your personal assistants, so you guys can take me to cool places.
Listen, we have some pretty funny adventures. We have some pretty funny adventures. I can't tell you, Joelle, how my heart sank when I learned that it wasn't a good person he was talking about. It was Chips.
Bruh. Bruh. That's really brutal. I can't. How you rallied it's amazing to me. Wow, Michael Fassbender owes you something. I don't know what it is yet, but he owes you something.
You know what? A funny story. I don't know if I told you this part. I think I did tell you this part, Donald. Is that Florence's assistant on A Good Person's name was Chip, and he's a great guy. Chip worked on. He also works for Jason Sudeikis on Lasso. He did a bunch of things on a movie. Awesome guy. For those of you who know A Good Person, he plays him. He doesn't play himself, but he plays a character in the opening party scene where someone's like, "If you're going to sleep with Chip, wear 11 condoms," and he's like, "What?" He's a really sweet, funny guy. He's an actor too. Anyway, so when I first heard mumblings of the word Chip, I went, "Oh." Obviously, he knows Chip. A lot of people who are, A-list actors know Chip. He's people know him. So I thought, oh, maybe Chip works for him too. So my brain was still rolling with he means me because Chip had some resonance for me. Mm-hmm. But then he clarified like this, Joelle, hands on heart. I love Chips.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I know I'm not Eric Estrada.
Right.
I know I'm not the other dude.
Yeah. Oh,
John.
God.
John, I'm not Pena. I'm obviously, he thought I was
I'm not
Dax.
Ponch. I'm not, wait a second. Could it? Is it?
But that was fun. That was a blast.
What was really cool, though, was watching Ryan Tedder and Snoop Dogg do a rendition of Gin and Juice.
Yeah.
Where Ryan Tedder's just playing the chords and Snoop Dogg's rapping it slowly.
What?
In front of all of these T-Mobile execs.
Oh my God.
And them not knowing the lyrics.
Do you know how big Ryan Tedder is? Like Ryan Tedder, I follow him on Instagram. He posted, you know how this is the week everyone's putting their Spotify things out. And I guess if you're a songwriter, you can literally put in like, how many streams do all of my songs have for the year? Mm-hmm. And Ryan Tedder posted his, it was 7.7 billion.
Wow.
I was like, I think that's good.
I think he's winning.
He has so many bops. So he does this like medley for like everyone at the piano and the guitar where he just like, sings a couple of his One Republic songs, but then he goes and it's like, oh, and you probably didn't know, and he tells like a little anecdote. And he's like, so I wrote this for Beyonce. And then he like fucking goes into a song. And then I wrote this for Rihanna. And then it's like a medley of like giant pop hits that you had no idea he wrote.
He's written quite a few. Halo.
Oh my God.
Halo.
Wow. All right.
He says now his story with the Beyonce song is that
XO?
he wrote the song for her and then she changed it up and changed Halo up.
Joelle, just put in Ryan Tedder biggest hits. You'll be blown away.
This is incredible.
It's a very good song. Well, we've always known he's a good songwriter, though. Everybody's known this. I mean, he's the One Republic is him and a couple of musicians getting together, and that was also the dopest part. I forgot. So he has a guy in the band that plays the fiddle. And Snoop gets to the end of the song and he's like, now play that fiddle. And the dude was just there bopping to the whole thing the whole time, like listening to, Ryan and Snoop do this rendition. He's like, wait, I got to perform.
Because it was impromptu. They hadn't planned it. Ryan literally came up and said, I practiced these chords right before, I turned the mic on. So I'm going to do my best and see if maybe I can convince a certain someone to come up here. So he starts playing, what is it, Donald? The chords
rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice.
Yes.
And then just playing the simple chords on the piano. So then Snoop's like, all right, well, I can't just sit here if you're going to play that. So Snoop, by the way, and this is in front of like 20 people. And then so Snoop starts rapping the song, leaning on the piano. He goes, I've always wanted to do this. And he was like leaning on the piano, rapping the song. It was so funny.
So much drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G, but somehow, some way.
And then the guy who was playing the fiddle or the violin, whatever it was.
Like, look, but let me just say one thing. He gets to the point, he goes, we got freaks in the living room getting it on, and they ain't leaving, and nobody said anything but me. I yell out, 6 in the morning! So what you want to do, right? And he goes, and he gets to, but for what? And nobody said anything. And here I come again. We don't love them hoes.
Yes.
Everyone else was like in awe and like, or had their phone outs and shit. Donald was like the backup singer.
I love it.
I loved it. It was such a great night.
But then there's a guy who was playing violin or fiddle with Ryan for his songs. And he wasn't like, because this was impromptu, he wasn't like prepared to play along. He's just sitting there bopping his head like everybody else. And then Snoop turns to him and he's like, it's your turn for a solo in so many words. And the dude was like, what?
What?
Like and he didn't know. He was like, he panicked. He panicked. Okay. He couldn't step up to the moment.
He did step up to the moment.
He did a little solo. Great. He did a little moment, but he panicked a bit, Donald.
He said he was scared at first. I was like, dude, you had nothing to be scared of. What you did was dope. I'd never heard anybody
Snoop say? Put a little. Snoop goes, put some fiddle in the middle.
Yeah, put a little fiddle in the middle.
That's great.
D.O. Double came to play that night. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He came to play. Like, that's always good, too, because, people get paid to do their songs. You know what I mean? Like, you get paid a lot of money to do. I'm sure Snoop gets paid a lot of money to do Gin and Juice. And for him to go up there and just do that shit for us.
Well,
for the
I mean, let's keep it real.
Yeah,
he has T-Mobile ads too. He was making the executives happy, but it was awesome.
But it was still, man, you can always decline when somebody says, come sing your song.
I think when they start playing your chords and it's 20 people, you're like, I'll sing a little bit. I know I would.
I'm shoot, me too. Especially if I knew Donald Faison was going to back up every freaking...
The next night we were at a place called Delilah. And
so the race ends, right. We go to the race first and we hang out and we do the whole race thing. And then there's the after party and Scott's like, yo, come to the after party. And so we go meet up with Scott.
Sartiano.
Yeah, Scott Sartiano. He's like, it's going to be a good show. Mark Ronson's going to DJ. And we're like, oh yeah, sure, let's go. We've hung out with Scott. We've hung out with Scott a bit in New York when he was building this wonderful club / dinner spot that he
Zero
has.
Bond. Actually, I forgot. You were there with me when we toured it before it was made?
Before it was made, you and I. And
it was before COVID.
Yeah.
And Scott was like, Zero Bond, for those of you who don't know, is a really high-end private dinner club, social club in Manhattan. And Scott created it. But it's very successful. But years before COVID, we knew Scott and he was like, I want to show you a tour of this like basically skeleton of a building. I'm gonna build a club here. And we took a tour, and I don't know what you were thinking, Donald, but I was like, this is never gonna happen. This is
I thought it was amazing, but I was like, this is a house. Are you gonna turn this into a house? What is this gonna be? And he was like, it's gonna be a dinner / club
social
situation.
Club.
Wow. And I was like, wow, this is okay. It literally was this big abandoned loft in the middle on Bond Street.
Huge. But we were walking around and it was just nothing but the walls, like brick walls. And,
brick walls and brick pillars.
And I was thinking like, wow, I mean, I know you're successful, but good luck. And then COVID happened and obviously it slowed him down, but now it's this, really popular place. But anyway, he has another place in Vegas called Delilah, and that's where we were. And Donald was like off and about mingling.
No, so what happened is once again, there's kind of like a DJ booth.
This guy,
I'm like, I got to go to the fucking
This guy
DJ
in Vegas is mingling all over the place.
I got to get to that DJ. Well, I'm sober also. I have drinks in me, but I'm not freaking smoking weed. So I'm not trying to just sit I'm not just trying to sit in a chair and blend in, right? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to camouflage. So now I'm like, I got to go to the DJ club. There's a DJ booth. And I see my buddy Evan Ross, who is a family member of Bill Lawrence and Krista Miller, because Krista's brother is married to Evan's sister.
Okay.
And so there's this. So I see Evan, but I've known Evan for a while since he was a kid. But anyway, so I see him and I'm like, yo, what's up? And his boys are, and I'm content standing on the outside watching close up. I'm close enough now to see the stuff. And they grab me, him and his boys grab me and pull me in. And I'm like, oh shit. And when they pull me in, I get yanked right in next to Flavor Flav, who is a favorite of mine. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, Flav. He goes, D. And we hug and all of that shit.
Aww.
And I look over and damn son Idris is in the corner.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm like, and I really do like this kid. You know, he's
real talent.
He's up and coming. I really enjoy this brother. And so Flav grabs the mic and now Flav's singing in the mic and stuff. And I'm like, this can't be happening. If I knew that quitting weed would do this for me, I would have quit this shit a long time ago.
I gotta say, dude, I didn't know. It's funny now that you're talking about it, but you were way more social and he was working the room. He came back and he's like, Flavor Flav's gonna be on the podcast. Like he was like networking and shit.
Yes.
Jeff Beecher, I'm trying to get Jeff Beecher on the podcast. We're trying to get Beast on the podcast.
Yeah.
Dame Son Idris on the podcast.
Donald was networking. We got to get Fassbender on the podcast now to talk about.
Fassbender would be great on the podcast just to talk about his love of chips.
I think Fassbender should come on and we can have Dax on too and he can talk to Dax about how much he loves chips.
That would be amazing.
A great double feature.
But all of this is because of T-Mobile, man. Like that's when we got home and after I finally got my voice back and everything like that, it was like, we've been very lucky these last couple of years. We have a platform that believes in us so much that they let us do commercials and promote a product that, we both own now and we have the hardware and it powers my house and we believe in it. And so for them to still believe in us, it just felt so good. It felt like, this marriage is the best marriage for us and for our brand in a while.
Rerun our Love Actually commercial from last year for Christmas, Joelle.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like,
Although Casey's fake voice got cut, Donald, I heard.
Oh, that's too bad. I like, is that Zach again?
Yeah, I guess it's too close to Love Actually, so they weren't allowed to do it. I guess in Love Actually, does someone go, is that blah, blah, blah again?
No, they say,
he goes, it's carolers.
Carolers. And he goes, well, tell them to go away or something like that.
For some reason, they cut fake Casey going, because in the rough draft, you heard someone go, is that Zach again?
But that was in the original commercial too, though.
I don't know. I asked Klugman about it, and he said for some legal reason they cut it. And I was like, oh, it was fake Casey anyway. We should talk about merch because Joelle wants us to talk about merch for Christmas. You guys, there's lots of Christmas stuff for if you like this podcast or if you like Scrubs or if you like me riding Donald. There's an eagle ornament for goodness sake.
Yes, we've got some of
we have t-shirts.
We got t-shirts.
Oh, didn't you say there were socks, Joelle?
They're all new socks, so comfy, so cute. Wear Zach Donald's faces all over your legs. It's amazing.
Yeah, I need some of those. Joelle, can you send me some of those? Because I need some of those.
Yeah, I'll ask him to send you some.
And there's a medical badge thing what do you call it? The retractable badge thing that nurses and doctors always have to wear for the nurse and doctor in your life with our faces on it. Yeah. Badge holder. There's towels. There's a few onesies if you happen to be a small and a medium. Is that correct, Joelle?
That is correct. A few left.
If you're a small person or a medium person, there's some onesies left.
And you guys should get it now because this is the last time we're going to stock these items. We're looking at stocking new stuff in the new year, some Valentine's Day stuff circling, maybe some summer things. We've been talking about like cool posters and stuff for a long time. So there's going to be new stuff in the shop. So if you like what's in there, I highly encourage you to get it now while it's available.
Anyone who likes the show and puts up a Christmas tree, you should have us eagling on your tree. I think it's important for your loved ones.
I don't think it says Christmas unless you have that ornament on your tree.
Yeah. Donald, do you have the ornament for your tree?
I do.
All right, good.
So you can go to cottonbureau.com.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So what you do is you go to cottonbureau.com. And then you just search fake doctors and it'll come up. Well, what else, Donald? Is there anything else we didn't talk about?
I mean, we hit pretty much everything. Joelle, is there anything that you want to share? How are you? You've heard about our Thanksgivings, weekends and stuff, our F-1 weekends and stuff. How are you?
Your F-1 weekend sounded magnificent. I'm extremely jealous. I love the F-1 Drive to Survive on Netflix. It's like my obsession. I think Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT. So I'm very jealous that you guys have been twice. All I want to do is see Lewis Hamilton race.
What a great comeback from him in that race, though. He went from 10th to 2nd.
He's so good at his job. I love him so much.
Wow.
He's so handsome. It's funny. They're all handsome.
Crazy hot.
Why are they all handsome?
Is that a prerequisite to be a freaking...
When you are more handsome / more beautiful, people have more confidence in you to do your job. And so you see like a lot of pilots are extremely attractive. Like, why are all the pilots just very hot? Something about an attraction level and confidence within a person, I think, is connected.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but I do know that it's bizarre when they show all these guys on the screen. They're all very good looking.
Yeah.
/ amazing.
They're all Mr. Steele, your boyfriend / girlfriend.
Yeah, you don't want Lewis Hamilton coming near your girlfriend. That would be a bad
You really don't.
buzz.
He's got a cute dog to boot. Stop it. It's over. It's a full wrap.
Not as cute as my foster, Joelle. Not as cute as Penny Lane.
I love me a little English bulldog. They're so cute, but who could deny Penny's gorgeousness? She's very beautiful.
Joelle.
I'm going to Dolby tonight to see Nosferatu, which I'm very excited about.
I got invited to the Bob Dylan movie. But I'm not going to go. I don't really like going to other people's premieres. It's weird.
Premieres are difficult. Once you've been to a couple, like the shiny excitement of it. No, it's a lot of standing around and then it's kind of awkward socializing.
Yeah, and it's not like if you have no relationship to anyone involved in the movie, I don't go to them anymore because it's like, why would it'd be so much more fun to see this on your own with a friend than go to like the giant splashy premiere. Obviously, if it's your friend or it's yours, it's a different story.
Totally.
I stopped going to premieres after, I had one really disappointing premiere. I'm not going to mention the name.
Is it when you told Kathy, what's her name from Star Wars' twin?
Yes.
That was the last one.
I don't like going to, that was the last time I was
what's her name?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy's twin, I think it's not fair for her to be at a premiere and look exactly like her. She needs to change her hairstyle because Donald Michael Fassbender, her twin, and said how much she loves her work.
At The Force Awakens, right?
No, it wasn't The Force Awakens.
Or was it Rogue
the second one? No, it was the second of the sequel.
The Last Jedi?
Which I did not like at all.
No, you didn't.
No, it was with the Rey character. I remember she was there.
Yeah, and I remember, and I was trying to kiss somebody's ass, and I was kissing her twin sister's ass.
That's so.
But they're identical, and like I think Donald. Listen, I guess this all wraps up. This is how good you are off weed. You've now bookended us back to the Fassbender situation. I know Dax and I look alike, but Kathleen Kennedy's identical twin sister, could have done a little more to look different, for people's sake.
A name tag, something.
A name tag. I am not Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, and that's what she wound up saying to me. She was like, "Well, I'm not Kathleen
Yeah,
Kennedy,
but they are literally identical.
Yes,
I don't
I
think
know.
you should feel embarrassed about that. I don't think that should be the thing that stops you.
I wasn't embarrassed.
Okay.
I wasn't embarrassed by it.
But that you
I
just said
didn't
that's why you stopped going to premieres.
No, because I didn't like the movie is what happened.
Oh.
And I was like,
oh, I see.
and I was ass kissing because I love Star Wars. And I was trying to find a way in, and all I
Maybe
did
the twin
really
will help
was-
you. Maybe the
No.
twin. Maybe the twin will make a Star Wars movie, and you'll be
Well,
able
I
to
went
be
to
in that one.
Kathy afterwards. I was like, yo, I just spent 5 minutes talking to your sister about how much I love this movie. And she started laughing. She was like, oh my God. And she turned to her husband. He just spent 5 minutes talking to whatever her name is. And I was like, well, it's time to go.
She was probably just surprised you liked the movie.
Last Jedi is a great film. How dare you?
No, it's not. No, it is
Really,
not.
Jamel? You stand by that?
No, it is not.
I think
I will
Rian
say that
Johnson's is the best film of the new trilogy. Yeah.
I agree. I will disagree with that. I will say this though. I don't think they should have ever retconned what he did.
No, that was a
think
mistake.
That was the big. Listen, if you're gonna go that route, let's go that route and keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
That was the mistake. It could have still been like, I don't like the sequel trilogy anymore.
All right, we're not going down a rabbit hole. We're not going down it. I'm not doing that. Okay.
Wu-Tang forever.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's like you two are ridiculous. If I don't like tug on the leash a little bit, y'all are like back on the Star Wars train.
I just came
It's
off a
real
debate
easy.
show. Also, it's Star
It's
Wars
real
season.
easy.
Okay, Christmas is our time. This is when we thrive.
It's our time down here, Joel. Our time.
By the way, now that you're saying a Goonies quote, I was thinking of when the foster woman told me that someone already wanted to adopt Penny. I was thinking of what Chunk says at the end.
You're gonna
Sloth.
come live with me now.
Yeah, you're gonna live with me now.
Cause I love you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Sloth.
That's what happened.
Chunk.
That's what happened. Dude, that's what happened. I was like, Penny, you're going to live with me now because I love you. And she was like, oh. By the way, poor Chunk's family, like, no offense to Sloth, but they're like, dude, we got to live with Sloth now?
So he's gonna live with us?
Wait, when did we say that Sloth could live with us?
Right. We just got you back.
We just got you back. There's a lot to talk about. We don't have room for Sloth.
Wait a minute. This giant man is going to live with us?
He clearly has special needs that none of us know how to handle. We need to be educated. We can't just say we're taking Sloth home with us.
No, he's special. Yes.
It's a
He is
conversation.
special. Right.
But I feel like we should have a family meeting.
He is related to the Fratellis. They are murderers.
Right.
I don't know if that has rubbed off on him.
We don't have enough Baby Ruth money.
Right. Wait, you said you found him chained in a basement?
Yes, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, obviously, but does he need to be, like, restrained?
Right? Mama!
You done bad.
Hey, you guys!
Chunk's mom. I love to see the scene after Chunk said to Sloth, "You can live with us now." And his parents are like, "Hold up one second. I'm sorry, Sloth. Why are you getting in our car?" Sloth, you're mistaken. This is our family car. Why are you? Chunk said, "I'm living with you." We'll give you a call. Sloth, why don't we, what's your cell? Why don't you do your thing and we'll give you a call after we have a family meeting.
But Chunk said Sloth.
Chunk said Sloth live with you. Yeah, but Sloth, Chunk is a child and Chunk does not make the rules.
In our Oh, poor Sloth.
Man.
That was an adoption moment right there.
Yes,
You want
it was.
that full circle.
And that's going to happen to Penny, I think. All right, on that note, count us out.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Stories about show we made.